So after 4 years of this one particular market of doing basically nothing and creating a big topping pattern, I believe it could be starting one of the greatest crashes we've seen and the great crash of 2025. And I want to walk you through that market and why I'm seeing that there and why I'm keeping a close eye on it, because it could be one of the greatest shorting opportunities that I've seen in a long time, and it could be that next big short, just like we've experienced, the Big Short movie, right? So this actually could be one of those markets that we could be keeping a close eye on, and I want to walk you through that. Plus, also I want to give you guys an update of what I'm seeing across the actual markets itself. So, traders, make sure you do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video, okay? Nothing I do say in this video is guaranteed to happen, and this is the most important thing for you as a trader. This is not just a disclaimer, this is me looking out for you. Longevity in the market is about this. Every time I enter the markets, I say, if this is going to be a losing trade, which it can be, am I okay? Am I protecting my downside? I promise you, if you go to the mind frame, if you go into the markets with that mind frame in set in stone, meaning you're thinking about your risk first, then I guarantee you're protecting your account one, and then the profit will then actually naturally take care of itself. So let's go have a look at the actual market itself right now. And if we go check out the, looking at the Dow Jones, and one thing I was actually talking about with my my coaching clients, and traders, if you do, I'm actually giving away access to my free trading course. There's a massive complete breakthrough trading course, plus also access to a training I've just put together about my trading system. First link in the description there, guys. Make sure you grab access to that. The one thing I was talking about with my coaching clients was actually this. Looking at this is the Dow Jones weekly chart here, and a few things that I was talking to them about here, which, man, there could be so many bearish trades here right now, guys. I promise you, traders, the number one thing for you guys right now is just make sure that you understand what you're looking for in a good setup. That's all I do say. Do you know what to look for in a good quality setup? If not, well, then you need to educate yourself better to that, because there's so many amazing things that are setting up right now. But one thing that I'm noticing here right now is that this is one thing that I've seen all of last year, right? So 2020 and 2021, you can see we actually had this upward movement through here. And then when we're making these higher lows, and then we started to roll over, and then we started this downward phase through here. Well, as you can see, what's happening here on the Dow Jones right now, right, is that we've had this up move, and then we've had this move to the downside. So the really big key area for me on pretty much all the indices right now is what I'm looking for a high. And then as you can see, I've already got the Fibonacci levels here, right? So high to lower highs, high to lower high. And then now we're starting to get a little bit of retracement. And the big thing I'm seeing here is this. We're always looking at the if scenarios, right? Because no one knows definitely what's going to happen. But if we do start to see this market continue up a little bit more, but it hold this area, and then we start to break below this level here. Do you know what that means? This is a long-term weekly chart. Right, we have this low level down here, bit of a support level through there, support level, and also had a cluster of support through there. If we get something like this, which could be more like a bit of a massive head and shoulder formation, right? If we do get something like that, and we roll over and we start to get a big close below this level here, that tells you that since this massive bull move, overall bull move, is coming to an end. And if we get something like that, we're probably going to see another really big move down to probably down through here somewhere. Now, my overall target is not that. I actually see we've got one more leg coming out of the markets, because I just think there's too much negativity and pessimism on a big picture to see that happening. And that's the reason why I still have a 7,500 target on the markets from here. Now, some of you guys are calling me crazy, like 7,500 target. That's just a target, right, guys? It's just a target. And again, there's so many months before the end of the year, right? We have well over 6 months of trading activity before the end of the year. Anything can happen, okay? So that's what you want to do. But that's just the target that I have here. But if we start to see something like this here, this could be starting forming a bit of a top through here in the markets, right? So we just want to sort of keep an eye on that through there. And if I go down to say the Nasdaq's the same thing as well too. And then looking at the S&P 500 as well too, right? Massive low level. So I'm really keeping a close eye on this here, right? One thing that we always want to do is keep listening to what the market is telling us and not our confirmation bias. And what we hope it's going to do based off our trading, base our trades here, right? Low level, look at all the support level, look at this through here. What happens if we start to hold here and we do start to hold that 50% Fibonacci level around that 50 to 60% level there, and then we start to do something like this, and then we start to get a break below this level through here, something sort of like that. What if that means? That means like, oh, this is something quite serious, right? And then we're probably going to get something like this. Okay. And then when that happens, guys, guess what? They're going to come out with a massive QE of printing money. And then the beneficiary of that printing of money, which is over the next, say, 1 to 2 years, when we're in the thick of a recession, they're going to print a lot more money, right? We can see that coming. Study history. This is not the end of the printing money. The printing money has not stopped. Study history. Go read Radalio stuff. You'll understand that when governments are in a pickle, right, and they need to, they will always print money. They always do. It's a history thing. So if you think in the next crash, that's it, it's all over, they can't print any more money, they will. They will. Right? They'll print money and then they'll lower the interest rates by, you guys get the point, right? So study history and look at that. The reason I'm saying that is through the thick of the next recession, the printing of money is going to cause a massive inflationary spike again, bigger than what we saw in the last couple of years. And then what happens from there? Right? Then what happens from there? That's when I do see, and one of the big markets I've been keeping an eye on for is things like the GDXJ. That's when I really do see, like you guys are focused on the mining sector. I still believe we have another couple more years before we start to get into the thick of a really good move. Now, when I say that, we're already up right now. We're already up 100% since 2024. So it's like we're already up quite a fair bit, in the last, say, 12 months in the mining sector. But this really big sort of parabolic move to the upside is going to come on the next to that reflation. So keep an eye out for that there, guys, right? We're probably going to go through a really big move. If we're looking at the gold price as well too, this is the GLD. GLD is telling us that this is probably going to be the end of the GLD price. The parabolic move is going to end. We know that, right? Just look at all parabolic moves. And then when that happens over the next couple of years, as this recession starts to really unfold and start to hit, then the massive printing money will start to come into play. And then everything will get hit, right? Stock market will get hit. Which is, to me, I love crashes in the markets, by the way, guys. I can't wait for the crash. Because you can, especially the way that I personally trade, is you can make so much more money on the downside, especially when I love trading options. So therefore, the volatility in the options can be quite amazing from there. So I'm looking forward to the crash. Bring on the crash. As a trader, that is right. As a trader, that is. So, and we can see what's happening through here. So that's a bit of a big picture there, guys. What I'm seeing right now across, obviously, gold. Gold is obviously telling us something's coming right now. We know there's going to be something. We're going to start to see a recession soon. We're starting to get the warning signs when it comes to things like even the. Let's go to. I want to bring up the yield curve for you guys. Right, this is the yield curve website at gurufocus.com. And the yield site through here, and I'm going to get that on. Yep, cool. Right, and then the yields, as you can see, if I bring this down to here, I've just zoomed right in here. Right, you can see here that what ends up happening is that whenever we start to get above, when we get below the set in stone, but when we start to get above, we're about 12 months away, roughly 6 to 12 months away before we start to get a recession. Below it, above, 6 to 12 months recession. And that's the reason why I believe gold has been doing what gold has been doing now. Because gold is warning us the sign that, okay, because before 08, guess what 08 happened? Big move in gold, and then everything got crushed. So will gold, guys. Okay, so if you guys are thinking this is the start of a much bigger move in 4,000, 5,000, I don't think you're right. Right? I do think this is towards the end, right? Parabolic moves, end moves. Right? If we've been in a very big bull market for a whole 12 months, and then suddenly we get a parabolic move, that's the end of the bull market, not the start. And the same thing through here, right? We have this low period through here, and we have the move to the upside. Low period through here and up to the upside. Low period through here, we're starting to get to the upside. So everything's starting to get its signs of writing on the wall. We're already starting to see things like when it comes to the tariffs, And I'm hearing stories right now of, things being really hard when it comes to importing stuff from China, which is slowing down businesses here or obviously slowing down businesses, in America and possibly even around the world, in Australia and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of writings on the wall here, right? And this is why, I always say to you guys that, it's so important that that you learn how to trade the markets. Don't just buy and hold and hope that things are going to work out. Learn how to trade the markets. You can do that by getting access to the free trading course. Or if you go to getjohnshelp.com, that's getjohnshelp.com. That's an application form to my inner circle. If you want more private coaching every single week to walk you through these markets, help you with the setups, help you get good at trading and so on and so forth, and you want my hand holding every week, then just go to getjohnshelp.com. That's an application form where you can fill that in. And then I'll personally have a good chat with you to see if you're a good fit for my Inner Circle weekly coaching program. But we can see that that's what's happening through here, right? So, and as I said before, guys, I can't wait for this in the crash, right? Because when the market does crash, the way that I trade, there's so much money to be made because the market goes down a lot quicker than it goes up. So bring on the recession. While most people who are trading the markets are going to get crushed by the next crash, a few people out there, like me and my clients, are getting ready for it. Now, the big market I was talking to you about on the good old thumbnail here to finish off today's video is oil. Check this out. So oil for me, look at this here. Over what's that here? All right, look at this here. 4 years. 1, 2, 3, 4 years. 4 years. After 4 years, the greatest crash of 2025 could be starting. Look at this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're starting to break down now. And this is one of the markets I've been really focusing and eyeing on real big time here. And we're starting to get slow. We're starting to slowly get a bit of weakness. That's the weekly chart there, right? After 4 years, it could be starting to happen right now. This is just, it's not good for people that are here, obviously with long oil. But it's, as you guys know, for me, I've been screaming to the mountaintops about there's a big drop coming in oil. I just hope that I get a good trading setup. That's all I hope for. Give me a good short setup, right? Let me go buy some put options on USO or, even the energy sector itself. So we are starting to roll over here, and I believe there's a lot more downside to come. Now, again, guys, I'm not short gold right now. I must make that very, very, very clear. I'm not saying go short gold right now. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not short gold right now. I haven't got my entry trigger yet, right? And that's where for you guys that are like, oh, let's go short gold. Let me go short oil right now because I think it's going to go down. I'm not short oil right now. It may not trigger. I may not get my entry signal, therefore there was no trade. You must understand what you're looking for and you need to understand what exactly are we looking for? And the two things that goes into a powerful trading setup. One, the setup itself. I'm getting the setup now. Then secondly, I'm looking for my confirmation candle to say now's the time to get involved with it. Because there's no gray area in my setup. There's setup and this is the entry candle I'm getting involved with. There's no should I be in, should I be out? No, that's the reason why my trading is so successful from there. So after all this time, as you can see, and look at both my moving averages from here. See this is my blue moving average trending down, which is my 52, my shorter green moving average, which is my 24. Look at this coming down through here. We could be getting ready, guys, for one of the greatest crashes we haven't seen, not just this year, but one of the greatest crashes we've seen possibly in a decade.